Welcome to the FB podcast where we dissect the hottest dramas in football, and today we have a bombshell that has just exploded in London that will surely shock many fans. Ange Postecoglou has been sacked by Tottenham Hotspur after just 2 years and a European Cup. Was this a crazy decision or a cold calculated move by Daniel Levy? Let's dive into it with the FB podcast right now. The decision to part ways with Ange Postecoglou has sparked a wave of controversy and intense emotions in the football community. The Telegraph called it Spurs Fury at Postecoglou Axe, while the Sun simply called it Levy Axes. But the point here is that Ange brought Tottenham a Europa League trophy, the first major trophy after 17 years of waiting. Do you remember the images of the wild celebrations, the historic moments in Bilbao? Those are extremely special and precious memories for Spurs fans. Ange, with his strong, sometimes thorny style in front of the media, once declared, "I always win things in my second year," and he did it. He really fulfilled his mission. So why did a hero who had just brought glory leave in such a bitter way? ESPN's Mark Ogden is not surprised, saying the decision was expected. The core issue was not the trophy, but the team's disastrous performance in the Premier League last season. Tottenham only won 38 points, finishing just above the relegation zone. That was unacceptable and was the reason Ange lost his job. Some sources said the players were furious about the decision, but Mark Ogden flatly criticized it as hypocritical when they had underperformed all season and failed to help Ange on the pitch. Henry Winter believes the players will instantly support the new manager. Daniel Levy, as chairman, must think with his head and focus on the numbers on the goal of qualifying for the Champions League. Experts also point to the disastrous lesson of Manchester United when they gave Erik ten Hag more time after winning the FA Cup and eventually paid the price. Tottenham clearly want to change early to have a whole preseason to rebuild, avoiding having to change managers in the middle of the season in October or November. Henry Winter agrees that owners, especially foreign or American owners, will prioritize the position in the rankings in the Champions League over a domestic cup title. This is the biggest contradiction between the fans' desire for trophies and the current reality of top-flight football business. Does Ange still have a chance to work in the Premier League? Both Mark Ogden and Henry Winter have had their doubts, suggesting his style might not suit pragmatic bosses who want their teams to consistently finish high in the table. So who will replace Ange? The name that has been mentioned the most and is the leading candidate is Brentford's Thomas Frank. Major newspapers such as The Times and Mirror have reported that Spurs are ready to pay $10 million for him. Why Thomas Frank? He has an excellent Premier League profile. He has proven his ability to work with a variety of squads, helping young players develop, such as Ivan Toney, Brian Mbeumo, and Visa, thereby increasing their value. Mark Ogden admits that Frank is a good coach, but whether he can take the level up to a club as big as Tottenham, a Big Six club, remains to be seen. Henry Winter has great faith in Frank's character, describing him as very insightful, very engaging, very open, and believes that Tottenham fans will absolutely love him. With 132 wins in 317 games at Brentford, helping them to promotion and stay in the Premier League, Thomas Frank clearly has the experience and quality for a bigger challenge. However, the pressure will be on, especially as his predecessor has already delivered a trophy. Oh, and by the way, we've got some interesting transfer and England news from the press today. The Sun is reporting victory for United, linking Victor Gyökeres with Manchester United. The player has a 70-mailer release clause and is said to be a great fit for Ruben Amorim's system at Sporting. While United were poverty-stricken just a few weeks ago, they now appear to have found some cash. However, they will need to offload a number of players, including Marcus Rashford, Anthony Jadon, Sancho Alejandro Garnacho, and possibly even Kobbie Mainoo to fund their purchases. Some have questioned Gyökeres' ability in the Premier League with comparisons to Darwin Núñez's struggles at Liverpool. As for Ruben Amorim at United, the Telegraph reports that major improvements are expected. Henry Winter stressed that Amorim needed a full preseason and a proper transfer window to build a squad that fits his 3-4-2-1 tactical system, since the current squad is more suited to a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. Regarding the England squad, Thomas Tuchel has been blunt in his comments that Jack Grealish needs to move to a club with a European place and play regularly to secure his place at the World Cup, as his situation at Manchester City hasn't really improved. With a high transfer fee and wages, finding a new home for Grealish is very difficult. Meanwhile, Ivan Toney faces the challenge of being Kane's replacement. Henry Winter believes Toney could be a key candidate to replace Harry Kane thanks to his penalty-taking ability and could become a trump card in the World Cup squad. Mark Ogden also confirmed that Toney is on Tuchel's radar thanks to his form and goals in Saudi Arabia. Back at Tottenham, perhaps it is a reminder that modern football is about more than just glory and fond memories. It is also a huge business where table position and Champions League qualification are sometimes more important than silverware. Either way, a new era is beginning at Spurs. Can Thomas Frank bring stability and greater success in the Premier League? Time will tell. So what do you think of Daniel Levy's decision? Did Ange Postecoglou deserve to be sacked? And is Thomas Frank the right choice for Tottenham? Share your thoughts in the comments below, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to our FB podcast so you don't miss out on our in-depth analysis and passionate football talks.